It's nice to see them making a concerted effort to add features or fix issues in things quickly rather than having to wait a year for a patch to come out. It'd be nice to have VMM be a one-stop shop for your virtual environment, whether it's on-prem or off-prem.
Well, the first side of the equation is that I love the fact that we're getting enhanced functionality on a regular basis. So Operations Manager, as an example, they added new functionality in 2012. They added new functionality in SP1, 2012 R2, and even with the UR2 release that they just did. So as every single piece of functionality comes out, they're adding new bits and pieces, and it's happening much more quickly than it ever has before. The reality is they have to be moving at this pace. This is the pace of industry at this point in time.
Every Hyper-V deployment that we're doing for our customers now, we're recommending System Center and VMM 2012 R2 as an introduction into the suite. For me, if you think about, or rather if I talk to my customers about what you can do with a solution like VMM 2012 R2, it's a Microsoft product for Microsoft products primarily. You've got your whole virtual networking stack, you've got integration with IP address management, which a lot of people don't think of. So IP address management, you know, you can get your DHCP and DNS servers and integrate them centrally into one single pane of glass, and with VMM 2012 R2 integrated, you can then get your full virtualized address space into there as well. So some neat little features there that weren't available in previous editions, and some people are probably not too aware of them, you know. So I would definitely recommend it. I would say I'm all for getting update roll-ups out there so we can get the bugs fixed and maybe get some new basic features added into the stack. But it's definitely something that I'm telling my customers and the guys I work with, you know, we got to hold off for a few weeks at least when these come out and let other people try them out and make sure that they're stable. So.
It's not just the Snowden issue. That's the one that brought it more to light and such. People are concerned that that other folks might have access to their stuff. For some, yes, and a lot of others are just kind of that I've run into are in kind of a holding pattern. They've recently bought a bunch of equipment, they've made that investment, so they're going to use that investment for as long as they possibly can.
There are definitely some pushbacks that are going on related to the cloud. I mean, the big ones are around who owns data, you know, is it something that we want outside of our organization? That's definitely where the public cloud pushbacks are coming in, which obviously then private cloud works well to be able to provide that.
There's been a recent survey been done by Entity Communications regarding the adoption of cloud after what happened with Snowden leaks, and it's quite interesting that one of 6 companies are pulling back or delaying their cloud implementation. Other companies, like some of my customers, they are asking for more and doing more due diligence on the cloud providers. Some of them are asking for some localized storage. They don't want to store their stuff up the internet or somewhere in Europe or the States. They want to put it somewhere localized and local into their country.
So most of my customers have been sketchy about putting their information in the cloud anyway. So the Edward Snowden thing just kind of adds to that. However, you know, they are going to eventually come to a place where they're going to have to trust somebody, whether it's their hosting provider or a public cloud or their own IT staff.
The folks who've gone into Azure will extend their Active Directory into there and start just putting some file servers out there.
So enhancements in VMM, the first thing I would really hope for would be some form of an integration with Azure. The reality of the situation is all of it is built on on-premises type systems, so controlling VMware on-premises through their controlling software, as well as Hyper-V through VMM directly. So the ability to actually have access to cloud resources, not just on-site, but also in the cloud within Azure proper, I think would be a great addition. But what I think we're going to find is that over the next couple of years, we're going to find that there are certain core pieces of functionality that we gain from the cloud that we didn't have before, that we're not going to know how to live without in a couple of years. And the difficulty is getting us from where we're at right now to that point in time.
They started giving some freedom for the user using the self-services to create their own version of the thing, to create their own loads. But it turned out that it needs a little bit training, a little bit awareness for the user. It caused them several other problems. So now they're pulling back from this and moving kind of a moderate solution, giving some access but not total freedom for the users to create just any virtual machine, anything. So people are not moving just directly fully to the cloud, just step by step. And at the same time, just giving the user also step-by-step access to their machines and how to create them and stuff like this.
I know a lot of IT folks, they hear cloud and they translate that to their jobs are going to go away. Someone still has to manage the cloud. You're not going to sign up for cloud services and hand over the management of that to the CEO or anyone else in the company. There's still going to be a need for IT folks. So I actually think it's going to create more jobs. Now it's going to change what we do and how we work with technology, but there's still going to be a big need for IT professionals. And I think that you're going to have smaller kind of niche cloud providers, and if you look at things like the Windows Azure Pack, those smaller niche cloud providers are going to be able to utilize tools like that. And I think that's why Microsoft has a good story when it comes to cloud. They're really going after the public cloud, but also building the tools to enable smaller providers to provide cloud services as well.
See how much fun and easy it is to set up a new server in the cloud compared to what they go through on a regular basis. I think that's really going to help drive the organizations to the public cloud. I do know this, is that data centers will continue to have pressure on them to do more with less, and sometimes that means a lot less and moving all that stuff to the cloud. And I think the people who are for example, who are data professionals such as myself, will have to migrate to another area of data, such as a data scientist or a business analyst or something to that effect, in order to really provide value to the organization.
They're going to have to start being able to translate business requirements into service model offerings and help their businesses get the most out of IT. I think that's what they should have been doing all along. In many cases they are, in some cases they're not. I think it's the technology is the easy part. It's understanding requirements, it's how to plan for it, understanding risk, understanding what success looks like, what's important, what's condition of satisfaction. That's something that Microsoft Consulting Services is a lot. At the end of this project, if I can do one or two things for you that's important to you, that's going to make you want to do, that say it was worth all the trouble, what are those two things?
Savision, great company, great products.
I've taken a look at some. I've looked at the Savision tools. I've been very happy with the Cloud Reporter technologies and the reports associated with that.
And then of course Savision as well. So with the dashboard capabilities and the new integration with Service Manager. Really excited about that stuff. So
visualizations and leveraging the data that's in Ops Manager and bringing it to a dynamic dashboard kind of situation is something that I'd always pitch to customers. And live maps, without putting too much of a sales spin on it for you guys, is definitely something that we would recommend. Visualizations actually is the key. So what we're seeing from the business side, if you're talking about C-level management or higher management, they don't really care a lot of the time what the solution is. They'll come to IT, or they'll come to a partner company like Ergo, like ourselves, and they're saying, look, we've got all these moving parts in our environment and we want to bring them all together. We want to be able to report on them. We want to understand our SLAs. Are we meeting them? We want to understand availability. We want to enable our support desks to be able to automate some tasks that maybe is taking up a lot of times. It's great because I know with the System Center stack or the Cloud OS stack, I can deploy that, I can put it in, I can demonstrate, and even using third-party vendors products such as Live Maps, then we can definitely bring that realization to what they need.